Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good evening, everybody. Good evening.
This is Greg Talk. This is Greg Talk. Greg.
Let me get my mute. There we go. Let me get my mic unmuted. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to Greg Talks. We are excited to be here with you on this thankful Thursday evening that God has blessed us one more time. So excited to have our guests coming in. Come on in. We invite you to tag and share because we're going to put out some great information for you this evening. Talking about how to get your book published. I believe that there's many of us that has a book on the inside of us that need to be drawn out. And certainly we have a guest with us tonight that's going to be that's able to do that and teach us and tell us as well how to not only get our book written, published, but how to get our book written, the whole 9 yards. So this guy is able to take you from start to finish. That's right. That's right. He's able to take you from start to finish. So I want you to give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up as we are getting ready to bring our guest to you. He is none other than my good friend, the pastor, Dr. H. Bernard Miller. Let's give it up for Pastor H. Bernard Miller as he come. Come on. Tell him hello. Welcome. Dr. Miller. How you doing, sir?
Oh man, doing great this evening.
Yes, I want to say, God, it's so glad to have you on our show tonight to share this great information that you have on the inside of you with all of our guests. We see many of our coming on. Good evening, Miss Allison Sanders. Our sisters on the line, Sister Carla Joanne Fry. Yes, is joining us. Everybody's coming in. Sonia and Della, the mom and daughter duo is on. Yes. Right. My daughter, Lysandra Monique Roberts, she's on with us now as well. Yes, I got people that's coming on. Melanie Jenkins, Sheila Stewart. Hey, y'all go ahead and tag and share your friend. Tag and share. Go ahead and invite your friends to this watch party because it is on, man. It is on, and we are so excited to have everybody join us. So if you know anybody that may have a book on the inside of them, or you may have a book on the inside of you, you are in the right place at the right time today to learn how to get that book out. So Dr. Miller, I'm so excited that Dad Lewis brought us together. And I know that it's an awesome thing that I believe that God has done without a doubt for us to cross paths and to just see what God has planned in store for our future. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Dr. Miller, and a little bit about your company and the things that you're doing.
Well, first of all, I'm just an regular old country boy from Griffin, Georgia. But I spell my country with a K. K-U-N-T-R-Y.
That's country.
So I'm a real country boy, country boy at heart, and I love who I am. So, don't take a lot to please me. But like I said, born and raised in Griffin, Georgia, educated in the best school system in the whole wide world. That's Griffin Spalding County School System. And went on and went through some things in life and ministry. Been in the ministry for 43 years now. Pastored over like 41 of those years.
Wow.
And married and kids and enjoying what I do. And 3J2 Publishing Company was birthed years ago. It was really birthed years ago. In 1987, I always, had a little business side and always loved to try to do business things. So I wrote a book called Subjects for Bible Study. Subjects for Bible Study. And man, it was the worst written, printed on light blue paper with cursive writing on the outside. Man, it was the ugliest thing you ever want to see in your whole wide world. But I did it, and I was so proud of that thing. Then after that, back in 1990, I went in 1990. I wrote another book, and the book was called "How to Handle the Conflict."
Okay.
How to handle the conflict.
Okay.
And at that time, I was going through conflict in a little local church and that kind of thing. And I always wrote about things that I was going through. So I wrote a book called How to Handle the Conflict. Before the conflict handles you, I might add the subtitle.
Because it
How
will.
to handle the conflict. And in 1993, the conflict led me to leave that church. But before I left that particular church, I had started a drug recovery center called Soul Changes Recovery.
Mhm.
Out of that came another book that was never published. And that book was called Cracked Up.
Cracked Up.
The biblical response to drug recovery.
Wow.
Biblical response to drug recovery. That book was not published in 1993. It was later on in ministry. I'll tell you about that shortly. But later on in ministry, I had the opportunity to meet with a young man who already had a publishing company. I got on board with him as a young man. I learned the business and still never published my book. Still never published mine. But after that, I left that church, went on, and almost 18 years, let me do the math, 15 years later.
Yeah.
15 years later. No, 25 years later, man. 25 years later, that same book, Cracked Up, I decided to publish the book. And in 2018, that book became a bestseller.
My God.
From that, I had to change a lot of the information in it. But from there, I was looking for a wife. And I was looking, I wrote another book, it's called, I finally found you, now what? I finally found you, now.
I got you, now what do I do with you?
I finally found you, now what? Published that book, and that book became a bestseller also. So then we started seeing how a lot of people were struggling with the publishing business, and to be real honest with you, and I hope somebody out there might could share some of their stories. I saw a lot of people just wanting to get their name on a book, just to say I've written a book, and there's some sharks out there that was taking advantage of people. People were paying out dearly, their life savings and all kinds of things, just to say I have my name on a book. And then you pay all of these thousands of dollars, and then they give you 10 of your books back to you. And then they'll sell you your book for more than half. Say what?
They give you that many?
They give you 10 of your books back to you. So therefore, what happened in the midst of that, 3J2 Publishing was birthed, and we were created again to just make the publishing process, easy and affordable, for our people. And the main thing, we're committed to helping our people have the best experience they could have in the publishing industry. And we deal with non-exclusive contracts. In other words, you start with us, you can quit with us at any time. We don't want you if you don't want us. How about that? But I like to say this. We birth bestsellers. We have a coaching system that is out of this world. Wow. And we birth bestsellers. We've already had 5 bestsellers this year since January 1st. So we're doing real good.
And 2 of them have been on my show.
Yeah, two of our bestsellers have been on his show. So that's pretty much a little bit about what we do, and we're just basically here to serve, man. Just basically here to serve. Wow.
So let me ask you this question, Dr. Miller, because sometimes people don't realize, and I saw one of our guests stated that she already had a book written, and I'm going to go ahead and ask her this question. Della, do you have that book published? Let me know whether you have that book published or not, because if you don't, tonight we want to be able to help you get that book published. So yeah, one of our guests already said she had a book published. Now, I know you have I would call it a gift of talent of being able to know sometimes that a person has a book on the inside of them that need to be written. How do you know that? How do you do that?
You listen. You listen to their passion. You listen at their story. One thing you always know, a person's story is valuable. Mm-hmm. Whether they know it or not. My wife, she wrote a book last year, It was called Testimony Table Talk, and basically a daily talk with God. But your story is valuable. Always know that God didn't allow you to go through what you've gone through for nothing. And this is one of the things that's a part of my wife's ministry. She says that your story is the key to unlock somebody else's prison.
Wow.
Your story can unlock somebody else's prison. So basically what I do, I listen. I listen. And there's a difference. It's a difference between fluff and stuff. You know.
All right.
Some things is just a lot of fluff and no stuff.
So I hear you. A lot of noise, but no talk for real, right?
That's what I'm talking about. Raising the engine, but don't have no horsepower.
Raising the engine, but the car still sitting still.
You're exactly right.
So let's say there's a person like me, and I know there's lots of people out there like me, unbelievable. But the people who just don't write stuff down much. How do you get a book out of that person?
Well, basically, again, I get people to, number one, you need to stop putting pressure on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I hear people saying all the time, well, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna write. I'm gonna, stop. Just start with an outline. Start with an outline. Just write down little tidbits about what you're thinking. And when you write it down, before you know it, you have a great little outline that outline can become chapters, and then you take the same process in the chapters, outline the outline, and it's something that has to be taught to some people. But main thing, Brother Greg, is just keeping notes, writing things down. And then if you give it to somebody, we have people on our team that can take your outline and turn it into a book. We'll put some meat on the bones for you.
Do you have somebody on your team who can just walk behind me and write down what I say?
Well, if you're what do you call your adjutant or something like that, we'll give them a microphone and basically let them write down whatever you say.
Yeah, doesn't walk behind me with a tape recorder. So I say,
right. But you have to write down. You have to journal every day. And just write it down. Stop trying to write a book and just keep notes. Write notes down. And
I noticed now my wife is good at doing stuff like that. Man, she would write stuff down. Definitely. And I've seen her do books that way as well. As she would just write stuff down. In fact, I saw her put a book together. She put down every chapter first, and then she came back and started writing stuff on those particular chapters.
So that's basically it.
Yeah. So I do want to let our audience know that feel free to ask questions. Dr. Miller would be willing to answer your questions because he would help you get your book going from start to finish, from beginning to end, from inside of you to outside of you to on print and to own in the stores or online stores or wherever you want to do those at. So definitely, if you got questions, he got answers without a doubt. So
and we do all genres. We do all genres of book. We do children books, audible books. We do it all. We're a full service publishing company. So novels, we do it all. So don't be out there and think we only write Christian books. We write how-to books, everything, cookbooks, you name it.
Cookbooks. Oh man,
that's right.
All right, now you got my attention. Then you talk about cookbooks. I might have to come up with a few recipes. And
one of our authors, he did a book called The Cooking Preacher.
Oh man, that sounds good right there.
Yeah, it's called The Cooking Preacher.
That's good. Wow. So
it turned out real well.
So now watch this. Now I like you say he did the book called The Cooking Preacher. So what happened to a preacher? And I'm asking this question because I know it, but I want the audience to hear from you. What's that preacher who wants to write a book, but as you say, not so much procrastinating, but saying, hey, you know what? I just don't have the time to do it. I'm gonna write a book one day. I'm gonna sit down. One day I'm gonna sit around, and realistically, that day never really comes. How do you help that preacher get a book written?
That person needs to just do his sermon and write it out and send it to us.
Wow. Okay. And do that.
Just send it to us.
And you would put that, and you would make that a book.
We'll make it a book.
Wow. Okay. So in other words, you do ghostwriting as well?
We do ghostwriting as well. And again, we ghostwrite in all genres. You know, you name it. I'm not the smartest person in the whole wide world. I just know how to put people around me that can get the job done.
Oh, wow. I've heard that before. Without a doubt, I've heard that before. So explain to our audience what ghostwriting is, because a lot of us might not know what that is, but explain what ghostwriting is.
Basically, a ghostwriter basically takes an outline of your material, basically take your idea and gives it life and put meat on the bone for you. Now, you might also add that a ghostwriter, once they're finished with the job, it's your book. It belongs to you. You know, all rights to that particular material belongs to you. But the ghost remains a ghost. You know, that's basically what it is. But you have to pay the ghost. The ghost does spend money, so you have to pay the ghost.
So the ghost may be invisible, but these do get paid.
the ghost gets paid, but they will remain a ghost. You pay them to be a ghost.
Wow. So
and I might add, most of your national preachers that come out with books, those are ghostwriters.
Yeah. Somebody normally take a sermon and turn that into a book for them.
Yeah, they're ghostwriters.
Okay. Wow. Okay. I need some ghosts. I need some ghosts.
Well, you know, we have some ghosts for you already. You know, there's some ghosts for you already lurking around, and you know, they're just waiting to get their claws into your material. So,
wow.
The ghosts are already hovering over your material.
Okay. Now, many people may be concerned about, okay, I'm going to write this book. Oh, I'm going to write this book. Okay. All right, Dr. Charleston, Pastor Charleston, he said, you helped me, Dr. Miller. So
Congratulations.
We've helped one already, so that's good. We helped one already. And that's
good deal.
That's what the goal is. This is my goal. My goal is to get people to, you know, that seeking help and needing help. My goal is to connect them with the help that they need, and that's why I wanted to have you here tonight. Let's go, Della, who she said, I have notes and testimonies and prayers ready, looking for a publisher right now. Thank God for this program. Well, look like we just made another match.
Right.
and Della, I will make sure I get Dr. Miller's information to you. In fact, I'm gonna pop his. In fact, let me go ahead and do that now. I'll go ahead and pop his email on the screen. So if anybody wants, in fact, this is coming to 32 Publishing right there, 32 Publishing, and to contact him, just hit him up on the email right there. That's pastorhbm@yahoo.com. I think I got I missed the M on the com, didn't I? But you could hit him up right there. I can edit that real quick, and but you can hit him up on his email, and definitely he will get with you, and he will get that book in print. In fact, not only do we get the book in print, but I think you also help get it on places like Amazon and whatnot.
Yeah, our goal for every book, you know, if a person comes with us, our goal is to coach them. And because really, you know, once you do we want you to be more than just a person that writes a book. Mm-hmm. When you write a book, you're walking around, well, I have a book. Here it is right here. Well, you know, that don't mean a whole lot. That book needs to do something. It needs to help open doors for you. That book should give you a stage. You know, your story will give you a stage. You know, but and that's the main thing. You know, a lot of people think it's in book sales, but the story gives you a stage to share your message all over the world, all across the web, everywhere. So you got to think in those terms. You know, you might not be $1 million, you might not sell 1 million copies, but you might reach 1 million people. You know, God will allow your story to give you a stage. So always remember that.
Now, what I heard in what you just said is writing the book is not about making money, but writing the book is about reaching the masses.
When you reach the masses, God will always give you a feel. Just understand that God will give your story a feel. And you might have to go through a million people to find that person that God wants your story to get to. So you got to make sure you keep it in the right perspective. People, I'm gonna write a book and it's gonna be a million seller. You don't have to sell a million copies to be a best-selling author. You
Wow.
need to have million sales activity. In other words, you need to have people clicking. You need to have people looking for you, trying to find your story. And that works just as well. And then before you know it, that right person hears your story, and there you go. It's off to the races. God does that. No publishing company can put you in those places like God can do.
And that's the truth. So let me ask you another question, because this is information that you shared with me earlier in the week, last week or whatever it was, and I hear you talking about the clicking and things. How important is it to get your information or get your book in the right category?
Because you're end up fighting uphill if you don't have your book in the right category. You don't want to have your book in a category with a million bestsellers. You want to make sure your book gets in a category that you can kind of maneuver your way up. And one of the things we do, we study. We study the categories, and we study the books that are ahead of our people. And we try to say, okay, well, in order to become a bestseller in this category, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to do. This is how you need to move up the chart. We know people and even in our company right now, whose books have been way off, but then all of a sudden they get in the right category and they become a bestseller overnight. It's just being in the right category.
Wow. So, with that being said, in my short or small, should I say, me and my wife both book writing history, this is something that we never had. We never was able to experience that, and getting the right type of coaching to get the book in the right place, to get the book in the right category. Not to really understand how do you become a bestseller and all those things. And this is why, when I heard that from you, I knew that you need to be on this show and explaining that to people, because sometimes we get the wrong concept of what it is to get a book out. And I think I heard you say earlier, there are many people, multiple people walking around saying, hey, I wrote a book, I got a book, but the book has not gone anywhere. So that it's no good to be able to say I wrote a book, but have this reached anybody to be able to help change somebody's life. I think that's what makes the difference.
Well, first of all, they're frustrated because they still have the same 10 copies that they got after spending $2,000. They're still upset. They're trying to figure out, now, how in the world, if I sell all 10 of these for $20 a piece, I only have $200. So, but basically, that's what happens.
Wow.
But you have to know the business and see, and God holds us accountable, man. God holds us accountable for our stewardship. And if you're doing that just to say I have a book out, really, it doesn't. I'm serious when I say to you, it can be frustrating. It needs to be an experience. You need to be the experience should be such that you can't wait to do your next book.
Wow. So now, my questions are just turning over in my head, man. I get excited doing this stuff. I really get excited, just thinking and listening to you talking. It starts my juices to flowing. Now I know you help. Not only do you publish, but you help people self-publish as well, correct?
Oh yeah. We don't listen. You can publish with us, and like I said, it's just the level that we're involved with you is up to you. But most of the times, even if you don't come with us, you still get the info, because I'm like a bad refrigerator. I'm going to share the information. And one thing that I do as a publisher, and I think I don't know if I even shared this with you, but I will. I like to share with our authors, everything. I like to show you, information that you're going to find out anyway. Why not share? Why not show you? Okay, now this is what the cost of your book is. Okay, now we're going to add 20 cents, 30 cents, 40 cents, 50 cents. We're going to add this for our cost that we're doing for you. And this is the list of things that we're going to do for you as a publishing company. But this is your original cost. Now you can do this all by yourself if that's what you want to do. Because it doesn't do us any good to hold on to somebody that don't want to be there with us. And I don't want anybody to get mad with me when they can go and look up the same information and find it out for themselves. Man, you charge me for this. No, listen here, let me show you what I charge you for up front. Now you need to understand that Amazon pays 60%. They pay 60% on books that are sold on Amazon.
Right.
If you do Kindle, they give you 70%. If the book is sold out of country, the book is 35%. Well, if we do all of that marketing for you, you might, instead of getting 60%, we might give you 55.
Right.
But this is why we're giving you 55, and all we're taking is a nickel.
Wow.
Now, with that said, if you don't like this agreement, you're free to do whatever you want to do. Your manuscript, everything you want, it's yours. It doesn't belong to us. We're here as a service to you, and if we don't render the right service to you, then you can take your stuff somewhere else and let somebody else serve you.
Right.
It's real easy, and we're gonna remain sisters and brothers in Christ. Real happy.
So now, with the yes, okay. So you do the both. You do the publishing. You help with the self-publishing, the whole 9 yards. So in other words, it's full service. I got one question. I got a question here from one of our guests. That's, have you published any? Have you published books on poetry?
Poems. Well, I guess so. That's poetry. Yes. Yeah, sure. It's no different. It's the same thing. There are several genres. There are several categories that fit in poetry also. Again, you sit down and you don't want to just put your book in a poetry category that doesn't fit your poetry. Okay. You want to make sure the category fits your poetry, but the publishing side is not hard to do. But like I said, connecting it to the right category is what needs to happen.
So then, if we don't know how to connect to the right category, that's why we need somebody like you.
Well, somebody like me will study it for you. And we have, on transparency, we have put books in the wrong category before. And when we put it in the wrong category, because we are watching it, we know how to stop it and put it in another category too.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. That's good. That's really good. That's good. So, gosh. So again, to our audience, if I pray that you're being helped with this, and I pray that, and I believe that there's somebody out there. I know we've got one person already, two people that have been helped tonight, without a doubt. And one is looking for a publisher, and one just let us know that he's been helped. So in fact, he says that he got to go to prayer service now at 7:30, but he will call me later tomorrow. So I will go to be hooking him up with you as well. So we want to be able to help people get what God has put in them out of them and get it to the place where it needs to be, so to be beneficial to somebody. Because keeping it on the inside of us is not benefiting anybody.
No, it's not. It's important, again, for you to get your story out. Your story is valuable. Your story is valuable, and know that. The devil meant it for bad, but God will turn your story around for good, and it will bless somebody. I hate it when saints, that used to be alcoholics, don't talk about it. You need to tell that alcoholic story, because so somebody out there can read it and know how to get straight. Yeah, so tell your story. Tell your story.
Somebody need to know what you've been delivered from, so they can get delivered.
That's exactly that key.
And I like what you say. Your wife said, and I saw my wife commented on that as well. That your story unlocks somebody else's prison.
That's right.
Man, so
because they're in prison and they have never seen anybody escape from this. So you have escaped from it, and it gives them the understanding that, hey, they got out of it, I can too.
And if we don't put that out there in writing, we're walking around with the key that couldn't let somebody else out.
That's right, exactly. That you could not have said it any better.
Wow. So that's good, man. That's good. So I'm definitely, again, I'm grateful for you coming on the show tonight. Definitely, and again, praying that people are being blessed, people are being helped, and I want our guests to I want our guests to go ahead and please share this, tag, share. If you can do a watch party, do a watch party. Let you know somebody who looking for a publisher or somebody who have a desire to write a book. Go ahead and share this information with them, and definitely we will get them help get them on the right track, because without a shadow of a doubt, as the old Saint used to sing that song, I'm on the right road now.
And one thing I might add, Brother Greg, too, we're going to have fun doing it.
Yes.
We're going to enjoy it. The experience. We try not to make the experience, like, again, we want it to be an easy, open door shut case, scenario. Whereas it's the process is not such not so bad. We want it to be a great process for you.
Yeah, and even my personal experience when dealing with you so far, it is what I see is there's no kind of pressure whatsoever. You just do what you do and make things happen, and that's phenomenal. And I think that's the way it needs to be when it comes to writing a book or whatever you're doing in life. If there's pleasure in it and we're having fun doing it, then we can do it a whole lot better.
That's right. You're looking forward to the next one. And one of the things I have to watch too with some of our authors is this. Listen, you don't have to put it all in one book. Save some for the next book.
That's good.
Save some for the next book. A chapter in one of your books might be the book, the number 2 book. So don't try to put it all in one book. It's like a preacher. God will give you something and you try to tell it all in one day. You don't have to tell it all
and lose your audience. So in other words, your book don't need 35 chapters, right?
No, it don't need 35 chapters.
Another question here: do you have an illustrator on your team?
We have several. We have several, but illustration is one thing. Whereas you have to make sure you get the right one. So sometimes you have to you may have to go through 2 or 3 to find it, and sometimes we will source that out to other people who are proficient in that area. But we like to illustrate till you're satisfied. I put it that way.
Awesome. Okay, well that is absolutely great. So, and you've built a phenomenal team, I understand, and you got somebody to take care of every part of what it takes to get this book into print and get the book into the public.
Exactly.
Yeah. And now, some of us may not understand. And I heard you talk about the fact about what Kindle does and what Amazon does, and Kindle, whatever the case is, and Amazon and Kindle kind of work hand in hand. But which entity or which one of those sectors that you believe will get your book to the bestseller faster?
Me, I'm an Amazon man. I really am, because Amazon has a market that's out of this world, and you just have to catch it right so they will help sell your book. If you become a bestseller, that's why again we try to push all of our books to become bestsellers. Once you get in the top 100 of your category, you're listed as a best-selling author, and then they'll start pushing your book out to others and sending your book out as a must-read and doing things, because when your book sells now, Amazon makes money also.
Yeah.
So it becomes important for them to make sure your book is sent out. So I like that free advertising that you really don't pay. You pay for it, but you don't pay for it.
Right. You pay for it on the back end when they take it.
Yeah, you pay for it. But, because they're trying to sell your book too. Once your book catches on and you hit bestseller or top 100, when I hit my first top 100, I even had other publishing companies trying to make offers to me.
Wow.
And I, quite naturally, I turned them down, because I'm sitting there thinking, well, hey, wait a minute. If you want my book and my book is just in the top 100 somewhere, what can I do with this thing? Let me figure out why you want my book.
Yeah. You want my book because
let me figure it out. So
in other words, they want to pay you for the rights to the book.
There you go. We'll give you $3,000 or $5,000, and you jump at it, and man, next thing you know, your book has sold 50,000. You have to be careful about that, and patient, and
Yeah.
patient,
Yeah.
and patient,
Wow.
and patient.
Wow,
So
that's good.
we a lot of my books now, you know, which you already know, I write to. We write to, but my wife and I, we write a lot of how-to books now.
Yeah.
One of the books we just did was called, you know, how to divorce-proof your marriage.
Oh, oh yeah, that's a good one right there.
Oh yeah, it's real good. It's real good. It's real good.
I think
You
we
know,
need,
but
I think we need to start giving those away at weddings.
we can, and it works. It works. It
Wow,
works.
that
It
is great.
works. It works, man.
Well, Dr. Miller, I appreciate you. I'm not going to keep you long because I know you got other things on the agenda, but I definitely appreciate you stopping by with us this evening.
Man, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yes, yes. Let's see. Hold on. Okay, somebody. Oh, that's my daughter again, man. My daughter's on it. I love it. I love it when my kids get on it. She says, I have a book in my head. Dr. Miller just helped convince me to get it out on paper. This is what this show was all about. And this is what we want to do.
Make sure you put it on digital too. Make sure you put it in word processing so you can share it out that way. You know, just don't write it on paper. You know, make sure you you know, do it on your computer in Word or whatever, you know, so you can share it quickly.
Wow, awesome. I believe that there are several books that's going to come out of this show tonight. I believe that was without a shadow of a doubt. So when they start calling me or they start emailing you,
well, you know, listen, we have a team. We have a, well, when we first started, I'll put it this way. We had a great turnaround, you know, man, we were turning books around in a week or two, you know, but now, due to the workload, man, like I said, we have 19 projects right now that we're working on.
Wow.
And we're turning them out. Thank God we're turning them out. And like I said, we're kind of meticulous, and we want to make sure that our customers are satisfied.
Yeah. Okay. Well, absolutely awesome. Well, God bless you, my brother, and I appreciate you. And I think my audience need to. Let me see how I want to do this. Hold on a second. I be playing with this technology. I be playing. Let's see. Okay, my daughter said, "Tell him we are looking." I put that so you can read. She said, "Tell him we're looking forward to talking with him." Now, this is the same one that does the jingles as well.
Yeah, I need to talk to them. She said she need to talk to me. I need to talk to her.
Well, yeah, they are the one to do that as well. So we definitely will get you guys in contact with one another, because I just see a great team continue to being built, and just see God has great things in store for what all of us are doing, and what he can do with us together.
Right.
And as that what's that saying? We can do better together.
We do better together.
Yes. So Dr. Miller, we thank you so much. Dad Lewis, God bless you. Thank you. Let's give him a hand.
I like that.
Hey, I play with this stuff, man. I love it. I've learned a lot during this pandemic.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And reading has gone up during this pandemic too. Book sales have gone up during this pandemic.
Yeah, I know book sales is going up. Definitely, book sales have definitely gone up because people are in the house. People are reading. People can't get out like they've been doing, and they are reading. Definitely reading more. Without a doubt. So that's my wife said, thank you so much. Well, Dr. Miller, I'm gonna let you go because I know you got to go, and I know you got other things on the agenda. But definitely
one more call.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you so much for taking the time out to share with us this evening. God bless you, and we appreciate you.
God bless. Take care.
And I'll be
Everyone take care. Take care.
I'll be talking to you real soon.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, everybody, God bless you. We thank you so much for tuning in with us tonight to Greg Talks. And I pray that this has been, and I see somebody, Melanie, has been a very informative show. And I thank you so much for tuning in. I pray that you've been blessed, and go ahead to that book that God has put in you. Go ahead and get it out of you. So definitely, if you did not get Dr. Miller's information, I want to put that back up for you. First, it's 32J Publishing. 32J Publishing. In fact, they're based out of Georgia. 32J Publishing, and you can reach him at pastorhbm@yahoo.com. pastorhbm@yahoo.com. And if you have a problem with that and you can't seem to reach him right there, whatever the case may be, certainly just contact me, and I will definitely put you in charge in the contact with Dr. Miller, and you can get your book into print. Yes, get it into print, get it in the stores, and get it into the hands of people that need your story to unlock their prison. Man, I know many of you guys got great stories, but your story need to be told. Amen. I'm so grateful for Carla Joanne Fry, who's on with us as well, who told her story, and people's lives are being changed. So keep telling the stories and watch people's lives change. So God bless you, and may God keep you is my prayer. This has been another edition of Greg Talks. God bless you, and we certainly appreciate you. Have a great night.